The second annual National Clean Energy Summit wrapped up in Las Vegas last night. Clean Skies News covered the event live wall to wall. You can see all of our coverage right here on our website. Clean Skies' Susan McGinnis this morning is reporting on the last big energy discussion that took place at the summit.
Hello from Las Vegas, which hosted the National Clean Energy Summit 2.0 here at the Cox Pavilion in Las Vegas. Joining me now for his assessment of the accomplishments here is Van Jones. He is Special Advisor on Green Jobs for the White House Council on Environmental Quality. Mr. Jones, thanks for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
I noticed a very substantial presence, at least 4 folks from the White House are here this year compared to last year's summit. What do you think that says about the White House's attention to clean energy?
Well, I think there's a big commitment. President Obama ran for office talking about clean energy jobs, making sure that we actually are energy independent as a country, that we have a chance to home grow our own energy and put millions of people to work. You're here at a place like Nevada. It is hot outside.
Sure
I mean, the sun is beaming down. That's energy.
Yeah.
That can be used to power America if we go ahead and get on with it. So I think what you're seeing from this White House is a big commitment to following through on the promises that President Obama made to help us to grow our clean energy sector, create millions of jobs, and beat climate change while we're at it.
Right. Now, you were a big part of the roundtable discussion that lasted for 2.5 hours. Earlier, also the town hall discussion here you played a part in. What would you consider your message, the takeaway that you wanted to leave with these folks?
Well, I think the most important thing that I can say is 2 things. Number one, energy efficiency, which is not what most people think about. They usually think about solar, as I was just talking about. They think about wind. They think about advanced biofuels. They don't think about caulking guns.
Yeah.
They don't think about
insulation.
insulation.
There was a lot about buildings this year.
Exactly. This year, I think people are starting to get a lot more serious, a lot more realistic, and in the short term, where the low-hanging fruit, as they say, for both cutting carbon but also creating jobs is in energy efficiency, making our buildings use less energy. So I want to make sure that we got that point across. I also want to make sure that, especially now because things seem like they're getting a little bit heated politically, to remember this is the common ground. This is a common ground message. This should be sort of a safe harbor for all Americans to get together. Yeah, we shouldn't be paying too much for our energy bills. We can agree on that. We should put people to work doing things that will upgrade and improve our built environment and that will pay for itself in energy cost savings. Some of these ideas, let's get away from some of the partisanship. This should be a common ground set of solutions for America.
Right, and you also spoke about climate change and how that also is an issue that needs to unite. Did you mean to make the point that you think that's not happening?
Well, I just think that it never hurts to underscore in a political season that some things are more important than politics. Our children are more important than politics. Our ability to grow our economy in a way that respects the earth, that is good for our children and our grandchildren, that some things should be above politics. This should be one of those issues. And I think that one of the things that's so amazing, you had T-Boone Pickens, he was here. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger, who would have been here except for the illness in his family. So those people on the Republican side.
It's growing in importance.
Growing in importance, and you had labor, you had business, you had government, you had all kind of people standing together saying there is a way forward, and I think that's a good sign.
Right, and so you do think that summits like this one, you go back to the White House now, everyone goes back to their businesses, a summit like this one can actually make a difference?
Oh, I think it makes a big difference. First of all, we got a chance to hear from Bill Clinton. We got a chance to hear from Al Gore. These are people who are of global stature, who are focusing on the same issues that the administration is focusing on. And yet they were able to continue to stretch the bounds of the conversation, to bring in new challenges and new ideas. Right. I think that keeps us fired up, keeps us on our toes. Right. But I think the other thing is people need to hear from people like Secretary Chu, who has a Nobel Prize in science and is somebody who's a globally respected leader, say, hey, this is important. We can get this done. We can create the jobs. They need to hear from people like Secretary Solis. She is our labor secretary, who's saying, I want to make sure that all Americans, even rural Americans, urban Americans, have a chance to do these kind of jobs and get the training. And understand that when President Obama stands up and says something, he has a whole cabinet and a whole series of people who are right behind him trying to make sure that those things actually come true.
All right, well, we'll be watching to see how the momentum grows going forward. Van Jones from the White House Council on Environmental Quality, thank you so much.
Good, thank you. Glad to be here.
And I am at the National Clean Energy Summit reporting from the Cox Pavilion in Las Vegas for Clean Skies News. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Susan, thank you very much.